Hey guys, I'm back. So this video, I'm gonna be kind of blunt, straight to the point about DC and Warner Brothers Discovery. So you gotta pick a side, all right? So you gotta pick a side. Either you do a reboot, all right, and start fresh, which is probably the best idea, meaning you don't have any actors and actresses from the DCEU, right? So you don't bring over Momoa and Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill and Ezra Miller. Well, of course they're going to fire him. If they don't fire him, then nobody's going to support their films. So it'd probably be best to fire him. So you either just keep all those guys, you know, back in the DCEU and just kind of let it die, which it's already kind of dead anyway, because the whole idea of Flash is to reboot the universe, right? Flash failed, so they got to see what they're gonna do, because if the whole point of the Flash is to reboot the DCEU, Flash failed and nobody watched it, lost Warner Brothers 200 million bucks. Then is it profitable to keep going forward? I mean, maybe, maybe not. I mean, you could just continue DCEU, you know. Um, Hell, just do a final battle with Darkseid and then call it a day. And then, it's like, you already had some kind of build up, and then, you had Justice League, we had a Steppenwolf, but, they alluded to Darkseid, obviously. So if you wanted to finish it up, go ahead and do that. But you got to choose a side. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to toss all those guys and then reboot, then it's got to be completely new actors and actresses, right? So uh, they casted a guy named David Cornswet for Clark Kent and Superman. You know, Superman Legacy is supposed to be the new film in the rebooted universe, um, or Blue Beetle. I'm not sure. Um, so yeah, it's either all or nothing. You either continue the DCEU or you kill the DCEU and then you just start fresh with Blue Beetle or Superman Legacy or whatever you want to do. No, you can't have some characters from the old universe and some characters of the new universe because, this is just a rumor, but it's like, well, Wonder Woman 3 possibly developing a James Gunn story with Gal Gadot. I mean, that doesn't really make sense, right? Because you can't keep Gal and then have David Cornswet and then Ezra Miller and bring in Zachary Levi, but then not have Jason Momoa. See how crazy this sounds? Like it sounds like a mess, right? It's stupid. Why would you keep some characters and not keep others? You know what I mean? Like that defeats the whole purpose of a reboot. That defeats the whole purpose. So, you know, you just got to cut all the baggage, right? So just start fresh. You have Superman Legacy, Blue Beetle, whatever you want to do, and you just start from there. Don't do the DCEU stuff anymore if your intention is to reboot. And actually, the whole James Gunn and Peter Safran leading the new universe, the rebooted universe, is like I don't know. Like that's kind of a big mistake because you don't want James Gunn and Peter Safran leading the new universe because you have, you know, Warner Brothers, you had this great relationship with Christopher Nolan up until, you screwed him over with Tenet in 2021, where you said you weren't going to release Tenet on HBO during its theatrical run, but you did, so you lied to him, you screwed him, and they're not on good terms anymore. So you had like the best filmmaker in the industry, Christopher Nolan. There's no one better than Christopher Nolan. So why not say, hey, Christopher Nolan, Zaslav just needs to call up Christopher Nolan and be like, hey, this is how it should have gone down. It's like, hey, Christopher Nolan, this is David Zaslav. I'm gonna write you a blank check. I want you to just take control of DC. He can deny, or he can decline or accept the offer, but it should have been offered to him. And Matt Reeves rather than like James Gunn and Peter Safran. And I don't really hate James Gunn. He's um, decent. He's a decent filmmaker. I liked Guardians 1. I hated Guardians 2. Guardians 3 was okay. Um, so I think he's an okay filmmaker. He's like an amateur though compared to Christopher Nolan and Guillermo del Toro and Matt Reeves and you know just a lot of other directors. But I'm not going to get into that. So I don't like hate James Gunn. I have like nothing against him personally. Um, I think he's okay. I'm willing to give the guy a shot. But honestly, they should have offered it to Christopher Nolan. And the other thing is, honestly, they should just center the new universe around the Batman, right? So you already have the Batman, which is a great film, with Matt Reeves at the helm of that film. They've already greenlit a sequel, so why not just have Superman Legacy be the counterpart to that film? You have the Batman and Superman Legacy, kind of just build Superman and Batman up, which is going to be like the focal point, the epicenter, the foundation of like the new universe. Like that's how they should do it, in my opinion. Which is like that was their mistake back in 2016 with Batman v Superman. It's just like way too much stuff, way too soon with Superman, Luthor, the Justice League, Doomsday. It was just too much, too fast, too soon. So this new universe, they should just like take it slow, like slow and steady wins the race, like Marvel MCU did it perfectly. So basically, to sum it up, DCEU either continue it or don't. Like you don't want any baggage from the old universe. It's got to be completely rebooted, or you just continue. No keeping any characters from the old universe into the new universe. That's not going to work. New universe should be the Batman, should be the film that is kicking off the new universe, basically. I know they're not technically trying to make the Batman the start of the new universe. They're trying to make Blue Beetle and Superman Legacy the start, but the best option, honestly, is just to tie Superman Legacy into the Batman and make it the same universe for simplicity purposes, because the Batman was super successful, critically acclaimed. It was great. A lot of practical effects. It was incredible. So that's just my opinion. I know a lot of fans want DC to prosper. prosper. They want it to, kind of get get off to like a better start than it did back in 2016. After Man of Steel. Them not doing a Man of Steel sequel, and just doing too much too soon. So that's my opinion. What do you guys think of DC's state right now? It's just so messy and convoluted, and they still don't really have a plan as of yet. So, what do you guys think they should do? And do you think they'll do the right thing, or do you think they're going to screw up again like they did with the DCEU? So, just let me know what you think and comment down below, and I'll see you next time.